Hello and welcome, Exiles, to the last minute update to the poison concoction of bouncing Elementalist. I got what I think will be a really fun plan. I've been thinking more and more about that last ascendancy point of what to do with it, whether or not we can force in the chill node or we have to go with bashing of elements. And I came up with a way that we can force in the chill node and also make the build a lot faster. And that is reverse chill, reflecting a chill back to ourselves and making that chill with Winter Weave give us action speed rather than decreased action speed. Now, how does this work? I'll showcase it in game real quick here. I have a character that is wearing an Ice Fang orbit. What this means is when we poison an enemy, they will proc a chill on that enemy. Then, after that chill is procced on that enemy, it is tied to the poison. That chill's tied to the poison. We are then going to use a jewel called Golden Rule. This says the poisons you inflict are going to reflect back on you. So I hit an enemy, it'll poison that enemy, it'll then reflect back to us. Once that poison is on us, it'll bring the chill with it, and Winterweave will then give that chill a reverse effect. So instead of decreasing our action speed by 10%, it will increase it. Now this chill is a base 10% chill, and there's two things we have to solve about that. One, we have to solve the scaling. We have to make the chill go up in percentage, so that means adding in ailment effect where we can. And number two, we have to make sure that poison reflected back to us doesn't kill us. Now, early game, there's a very cheap unique called Maw of Conquest, which says unaffected by poison. There's also an elevated boot mod you can maybe get eventually, or what I plan to do late game is I was going to take this character and make it CI anyways. And if you're CI, you're chaos immune. Poison is chaos damage, and therefore the poison reflected back to you will do no damage. So early game, it'll be Maw of Conquest. Now, what I want to showcase here is how the scaling works for that chill. So let's say we go to Blood Aqueducts. I have 100% chance to poison on this character. I have a Fireball. I have Ice Fang Orbit. I have Golden Rule on. You'll see I go up and I hit an enemy. You'll notice up here, there will be a debuff that says minus 10% chill. But that chill does not make my character slower. It's actually making my character 10% faster. You can do things like add ailment effect. I'm going to be running Unbound Ailments on my character anyways because it's a best in slot poison damage link regardless. So what I would do is I would take this, I'd put this on here. This has 56 ailment effect, and you'll notice that 10% chill is now all of a sudden a 15% chill, making us 15% faster. The fun thing about Elementalist is this number can scale all the way to 40, and I did a bit of digging on how to get that number up, and this is what I came up with, which is potentially some of the least opportunity cost to do it. Number one is, if you do a medium cluster with deep chill, and I believe it's Astonishing Affliction, that will give you about 60 chill effect, which will take you from like something like 15 to 21. If I put on elevated boot mod, redeemer mod, it goes for up to 60% ailment effect, which would take us to like 27. If I use Unbound, Awaken Unbound instead of the regular Unbound, which has like 50, that would give us another 2% action speed. If you corrupt it up to level 6, I think that's a 70% action speed or ailment effect there, which would take us to like 34. If I'm counting, no, sorry, that would take us to like 29. Benchcraft Suffix, which would be 20 ailment effect. If you get the Unveil mod, it's 30. That would take us to like, what, 31? Ascendancy Small Node gives 10% chill effect. That takes us to about 32. And then here, a second medium could take us to about 38. The fun thing about this is that's a ton of action speed. Our character would feel super zoomy. And then on top of that, it would also be making the enemies extremely slow, which means it'll be super easy for us to dodge mechanics, as well as it'll make the enemies deal reduced damage. So if they hit us, they'll deal reduced damage. I think this will be pretty dang fun. I'm not sure about the two mediums. It might be too much of an over-investment into the chill effect. I'll have to see if there's an easier way to do this that costs less passives. Elevated Boot Craft is basically an Awaken Orb craft, and I'm pretty confident that one will feel decent. It's super easy to use Veiled Orbs to get movement speed and Benchcraft on an ES mod. Like, if we're going CI, I don't think that's too much of an opportunity cost. We could also even add in Tailwind if we wanted to, and then get even more action speed onto our character. Unbound Ailments is just an upgrade we're going to add in no matter what. When we're doing a poison build, you eventually want to get to Awaken Unbound. Benchcrafting a Suffix. I think this is like relatively reasonable if we're doing a rare amulet. It's probably not best in slot. Ultimately, best in slot amulet's going to be some Giga Chad simplex, but this is a starter character. We're probably not going to go for a simplex. That'd just be super over investment. Ascendancy node, that's included as we spec to the chill node. So we'll see how this works out, but I think it'll feel pretty dang good. As for the early game items, I added a couple slots onto the POB, just some go-to easy things that just work. For example, Asnaz Touch gets you temp chains on hit early on. You could also go for, I believe it's Embalmers, which has poison duration, chaos res, and life, and vile toxins for like a pseudo 5 link early. You could go for Maw of Conquest plus Ice Fang plus Witter Wave. That's what you need, plus the Golden Rule in order to have the reflected poisons. Fury Valve is plus 2 prod, which is plus 2 chains. Super strong early on, super cheap amulet. This is just some early game stuff. Ultimately, none of this is going to be in the late game POB except for Ice Fang with Winter Eve. If we like this reverse chill stuff, it'll work perfectly with CI. So we'll see how this all pans out. But I think for early game, it should be pretty fun to make a Zoomy character. I don't know if it's going to work out. Just something I'm pretty excited about. So that is the rough update to the POB. I didn't take time to necessarily fill out jewels and stuff, but ultimately, I'm going to do daily updates to this character. So if you want to follow along, there will be a daily update every day where I say, hey, this is where the character is. I've played this much amount of time. This is how it's performed, all that sort of stuff. So if you want to follow me along the journey, you can. If not, you can just watch this train wreck go by, whatever you think. As always, enjoy you guys and take care and have a good league start. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.